Hey guys, so it is music festival season, and I know that there are a bunch of people who don't really get the hype of music festivals or prefer concerts or prefer to just stay at home and just listen to the music on their laptop or something. So I'm kind of going through the three differences of them because I do all three of them. So yeah, let's get into that. Also, just so you know, I got this coffee, but since I have lipstick on, this is the way to do it. It just doesn't really come off. It you know when you have lipstick and you drink your coffee and it all goes off? So straws work a lot better. Okay, so I guess I'll start off with just listening to music, just at your house, I guess, because I mean, it has its pros and cons. You don't have to wait in line for anybody, you don't have to stand on your feet for super long, and you just are in the privacy of your own home. So I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to go to every single concert if you ever want to listen to music. Obviously I think there are times when you just stream it and it's easier, you know? But that gets me into concerts. So the way that I do concerts is just if I really like the band, because I mean, there are a lot of musicians who come to Las Vegas, so it's if I just went to whoever came into town, I would be at a concert every single day. So usually I just go to a couple every year. It just kind of starts around the springtime and ends around October. That's when people mostly have their concerts, I guess. So yeah, I usually will just wait for my favorite acts or somebody who I kind of or I'm interested in their stuff, then I will go to their concert. I like concerts because it's just you don't spend the whole weekend there, you just spend one day there, and I mean, you're obviously gonna be standing or sitting for a while. And that also, I guess, goes into two different categories, because there's the standing shows, which I guess are smaller, and then there are the sitting shows where it's a huge venue and you can sit down, and it's a very different experience, I guess. When I went to the Justin Timberlake concert, that was a huge gigantic stadium venue, and there was a couple rows in the very bottom that were standing, but most people were just sitting, and people paid really good money just to sit really up front, you know. And it was a really nice experience because I didn't have to stand the whole time, so I wasn't so exhausted, and I wasn't oh, by the end of it, you know, your feet just kind of die when you're standing for so long. So that was really nice. I really liked that concert. It was everyone was more formal, I guess, people dressed up to go to it. There was one girl in front of me that she actually got ready and everything, and it was her birthday. And she was just telling us all this stuff, and every one of her friends was all dressed to the nines and stuff, but she had a little tiara. That's how fancy people were dressing up for that show. And it was a really nice experience because you didn't have to deal with just people bumping into you, or the heat that happens when there's too many people squished together. Bad things happen when people are squished together. I have a story time on it. It was a rough time. So I mean, that's a different thing. So standing concerts I really like because it's not the whole day, and it's basically just who you want to see. If you want to see the openers, you can. You don't have to. You can just come a little bit later. And also, if you don't come early enough, then you can't find any parking, then you're probably gonna miss the openers, and then you can just see who you want if you want to. I like to go see the openers if I can, because usually that's how I'll find another band that I like, and then I'll go to their concerts or things like that, you know. So it kind of keeps it going. So there's that side of it. And also at standing shows, sometimes the venues can be very small, and I really like it. What is it, the Vinyl at the Hard Rock, I think? It's a really small venue, and there aren't a bunch of people, maybe 100 people, 150, I don't know how many. I'm not good at estimating how many bodies can fit into a space, but there's some venues where they just don't have a bunch of space anyway for people, so you go and it's a much more intimate performance, I guess, where it's you can talk to the people. Usually they will have booths outside if it's a smaller band, and you can go and hang out with the people, get to know them, talk to them, follow each other on Twitter. I think that's fun, you know. So you can do that, or I mean, there are the bigger shows the 1975 where you don't have the same opportunity to do that. but it's nice because you're standing and you can like dance and jump around, which you can't really do when you're at a sitting concert. And also, for some reason, I always run into the same people at every concert that I go to. It's like, you're here too? Oh my gosh. And then it's like, I see you again. Every single concert I go to, I see some specific people. Okay, so yeah, there's that. But also the downside of that is always parking, because it's always in a casino and the casino parking gets filled up really quickly. And then traffic is always coming out of the same spot. So it's just like annoying with that, you know, unless you take an Uber. But even with the Ubers, it's gonna take them a long time because it's just very congested, you know? So that's like, I guess, concerts. It's like, I mean, it's the one in the middle, really. But then there's music festivals, and music festivals, oh my gosh, they are like, they take dedication, I think. Like, I have gone to Life is Beautiful, and that's like, honestly, like the only one that I really go to, because they're like, it takes a lot to go to a music festival, you know? Because usually they're like a couple days, like 3 days usually. He's stretching. But yeah, music festivals are usually like a couple days, and it's so much dedication. Like, to get there, it takes like a flight or a really long car drive, or just like, it takes a long time to get there, you know? And then you have to find like a place to stay. Thankfully, Life is Beautiful is here, so I just come back home every night. But a lot of people, they do stay like on the strip or at like the little motels that are where the event is, you know? And then you go pretty much as early as you can if you want to see like the actual experience of all of it, or you can go later if you just want to see like the musical acts. Like, I like that there's like a lot more options with music festivals, especially with Life is Beautiful, or just like with any other music festival, that they're like the other things as well. Like concerts, it's just the music, and you just started there for the music, and then like you stay there and you go home. But with music festivals, you can walk around, and there's like a whole like environment of the place, you know? Like, you can go and get your face painted, or you can go and get a bite to eat, or you can like go and charge your phone. Or there was one station at Life is Beautiful a couple years ago that I really liked, that they had like a bunch of bandanas, and you could just like draw on them and stuff, and then you could like dampen them. That way you could like stay fresh by wrapping it around your neck. So music festivals, they aren't just music. I mean, there's like the whole festival part of it, which I think is really nice, because it's like, if you don't like that certain artist, or if you just kind of like want to take a break, or if you just want to look around and you don't really care for the music in the first place, like, you can do all of that and you'll still have a really good time. But they do take a lot of dedication and a lot of battery charging. The best portable charger that I've ever seen was this one that was like, what is it, like solar powered. That was the coolest portable charger. That wasn't even at like a music festival. That was just, someone was like, look at my charger, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. But I think that's like the best way to do it, because I brought multiple portable chargers, and then they just all die, because it's 3 days. And also 3 days of just like standing. I will usually choose like to go to a music festival or not based on who they have musically as their lineup. So with that comes like a lot of waiting and a lot of expensive water and just like a lot of soreness, I guess, because when it comes to those things, those music festivals don't really have like a lot of areas to lay down or sit down. You can, but it's always risky because there's a lot of people standing around you, so it's like, don't step on me. And then you're waiting for a couple hours because like each performer has to set up, and you have to get there a little bit early if you want to see their set in like a good spot, and you just like have to wait. And then there's a lot of standing, and then when they do the actual performance, there's more standing. And then if you go home, you have to get up the next day and do more standing, and then the next day and do more standing. So it's like a labor of love, I guess that's what I would call it, because they are really good experiences, and you always have the memory afterwards. But also for the first couple days afterwards, you do have like a lot of trouble with just like walking and standing. You're just like, everything hurts, you know? So I guess maybe I just get too into it. Maybe I should just like spread out who I see musically, I guess. But I just like to go for the music mostly. So maybe this year, if I decide to go, I will actually like walk around more, because last time I did walk around a lot, but there's a lot of standing too. Oh, another thing at music festivals is that they typically happen in the summertime, so it's hot. And I mean, if you go to like a desert for a music festival, it's gonna be very hot. So that's like another thing that you have to deal with. So I mean, each thing has its pros and cons. Also the price, I know it's very like, a lot of people, they have to kind of like save up for an event, or they just like can't buy a ticket all at once. And like Coachella is like a good $600-700. So that's already like out of range for a bunch of people. And 3 days, it's like you go to work and stuff, you know, you might miss days off, or sometimes you just like don't have the opportunity to go. And like Life is Beautiful, even the one that's just here, is always like $300 minimum. And then there's not, that's not even including like the VIP passes and stuff like that. That's like a whole nother range. So it's like, it really is just like dedication, you know, I think. Or I guess some people take it as like a vacation, that they are gonna like travel to the place and then have a music festival experience and then like go back home. Also, that's different than like EDC though. Like I don't really go to EDC because that thing is like a little too crazy for me. And also it's not really my type of music. If you go walking around the strip during EDC time, it's like a very different attire that people usually wear. Like they will wear like a lot of like fur boots or like glitter. There's a lot more glitter at EDC, I think, and a lot more like neon colors. And at other music festivals, like I guess Life is Beautiful, since that's the one I really go to, they mostly have like pastel colors or like more floral type of designs. So it's kind of interesting to see how like there's those two different things. And I guess it really just depends what you're into, I guess. So each thing really has its pros and cons, but I know that some people, they were like, what's the difference? Why should I care? Why do I want to go to this and not this? But I think like, I'm glad that festival season is only like a season, because that's like, it's a lot to handle. But I think like for me personally, concerts are just like the middle of the road, and I think that that's what I like best, because you can recover just like physically from standing, you can recover like the next day, or financially they're usually like anywhere from like $40 to $70, which isn't too bad, unless they're like one of the stadium ones, which is like, that's really expensive if you get really close. So yeah. And I mean, like, it's obviously like a different experience, like listening to something in your room versus like actually going to a concert and like, oh, this is the people that make the music that you like or that you listen to every day. And also I really like to keep like the tickets like in there, right there. I have all the concert tickets that I have ever been to, except for one. I'm missing one concert stub from when I went to a Shakira concert. That's the only one that I'm missing, and I was probably really small, like elementary or beginning of middle school. So I don't know what happened to it. I probably like threw it away or something. I was probably like, what am I ever gonna want this for? And like threw it away. But now I'm just like, no, I regret it, because then I would have had my complete collection of every concert ticket from every concert I've ever been to. But I'm missing that one. So annoyed that I didn't keep it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys prefer, like music festivals or concerts, or just like staying at home, because honestly, like sometimes staying at home is just so nice in your air conditioning by yourself. No one else is bothering you. It's so nice. So I guess it really depends on like what mood you're in, or just like if you're more introverted or extroverted, or just, I don't know, whatever you're feeling, you know, depends. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you guys are interested in following me on my day-to-day basis, you can follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. Everything is at AmyCrouton. Also, if you guys want to support me on Patreon, you can click right there, this little link right there. And if you guys are new here and you want to get notified every time I upload a new video, you can click subscribe right there. And if you want to check out my other videos, you can click right there or right there. And I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye!